From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the daily news for March 12th, 2026. These are the stories we are covering at this hour. Centuries of British political tradition will end within weeks after Parliament voted to remove hereditary aristocrats from the unelected House of Lords. On Tuesday night, members of the upper chamber dropped objections to legislation passed by the House of Commons, ousting dozens of dukes, earls, and viscounts who inherited seats in Parliament along with their aristocratic titles. Government Minister Nick Thomas Simons said the change put an end to an archaic and undemocratic principle. Our Parliament should always be a place where talents are recognized and merit counts, he said. It should never be a gallery of old boys' networks, nor a place where titles, many of which were handed out centuries ago, hold power over the will of the people. The House of Lords plays an important role in Britain's parliamentary democracy, scrutinizing legislation passed by the elected House of Commons, but critics have long argued that it is unwieldy and undemocratic. In other news, Bangladesh asked the United States to allow the country to purchase oil from Russia as supply shortages and surging crude oil prices pressure its economy. Bangladesh's Finance Minister Amir Khosrow Mahmood Chowdhury made the request during a meeting with U.S. Ambassador to Dhaka Brent T. Christensen on Wednesday. The U.S. sanctioned Russian oil following Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Bangladesh heavily relies on imports of fuel from the Middle East, and the government started a rationing system for the vehicles after the war began. It has shuttered fertilizer factory to keep fuel flowing to power plants and even closed universities in an effort to reduce energy consumption. The country is also making efforts to bring fuel from alternative sources. India has already supplied 5,000 tons of diesel as an emergency measure through a cross-border pipeline. Bangladesh has requested India to increase the volume of fuel supply. Turning to news from Georgia. A 12-year-old girl was taken to a hospital and died days after she collapsed in the street following a fistfight near a school bus stop in her Georgia neighborhood, according to police. The death of sixth grader Jada West is being investigated by police in suburban Villarrica, about 30 miles west of Atlanta. Sergeant Spencer Crawford, a police spokesman, said Wednesday that investigators are reviewing evidence, including cell phone video of the fight, and are awaiting autopsy results. He said police plan to meet later this week with prosecutors who will ultimately decide whether to bring charges. The fighting between Jada and another student from Mason Creek Middle School broke out at an intersection near the girl's home on Thursday afternoon, Crawford said. Cell phone video posted by Jada's aunt on social media shows a school bus leaving the scene more than 90 seconds before any punches get thrown. The video shows Jada and another girl yelling and taunting each other while standing a good distance apart. A group of classmates stands watching them. Someone can be heard saying, "Who is going to fight you over some noise?" The video shows both girls putting down their backpacks at roughly the same time. They approach each other and then begin throwing punches, and within seconds, they fall to the pavement, clutching each other, with Jada landing on her back and rolling backward, feet first, over her head and neck. Both girls stand up before a woman intervenes, and the adult can be heard telling Jada to go home. The video shows Jada picking up her backpack and appearing to walk away when the clip ends. It's unclear what happened next, but Jada didn't make it home. Crawford said police were dispatched on a call of a young juvenile who was in cardiac arrest laying in the street. And now this news from Pennsylvania. A Pennsylvania man accused of raping 4 children over a span of decades will be behind bars for the rest of his life, State Attorney General Dave Sunday announced. Andrew Alleman of Perry County was found guilty in October of multiple counts of rape, unlawful contact with a minor, sexual assault, indecent assault of a child, and endangering the welfare of a child, according to the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General. Alleman's conviction stemmed from years of him using his, quote, relationships with the victims to carry out evil, disgusting acts, end quote. Attorney General Dave Sunday previously said in a news release issued on Halloween of 2025. According to prosecutors, Alaman sexually abused victims while armed with a pocket knife. He allegedly used the knife during sex acts and in other apparent acts of cruelty against the minor victims, the state attorney general's office said. If the children did not comply with the abuse, Alaman allegedly beat them and forced punishments, including locking victims inside dog kennels and making them eat out of dog bowls, according to prosecutors. On Tuesday, March 10th, the Perry County judge handed Alaman a sentence of 65 and a half years to 131 years in prison. In connection with 4 victims, the Attorney General's office said in a news release issued that same day. This defendant no longer presents a threat to anyone in our community, Sunday said in a statement. We hope the survivors who bravely testified at trial can take solace from this outcome and continue moving on with their lives, Sunday added. And that's the news at this hour. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.